Hello everybody. We are playing Scratches today. Always wanted to play this. I've tried streaming it in the past, but was never really up for it. But today, considering it's a dark and stormy night, I feel like giving it another shot. Probably only for another hour or so. So not too long. But should be good. This game looks really spooky. Not in the jump scares kind of way, but in the, actual scares kind of way. So I turn that down a bit. There we are. How's that? That should be better. Okay, cool. So let's get into it. I'm really looking forward to this. So this is the director's cut of the game. It's been out for a while. Don't like the fact that my taskbar keeps showing up there. That's not cool. Let's see if there's a way for me to... much better. There. Now it's gone. Good. It's not very atmospheric if you have your taskbar constantly getting in the way of things. This game is really loud. Wow. I just have to turn it down on my end. I'm sorry if it is, it's too loud on yours. I think it might just be the initial music here. Anyways, let's go new game. Yeah, I want to do the director's cut, obviously. Yes. We're already off to a great start. Got some creepy mansions, creepy photos. Always good. Great little horror atmosphere. And a mausoleum. There we are. Perfect. Alright, so I'm guessing the fountain is important as well to whatever it is the game story is. Cellar of Rats. Fantastic. Leandro Graziani. Agustin Cordes. Augustine Cortez.
I arrived at Blackwood Manor one cold Saturday morning amidst a thick veil of fog. The weather didn't look good, and there was an unnatural calm surrounding the area, yet I soon became entangled with the place.
Ooh, very Clock Tower-esque. Like it already. The cloudy sky above me seemed rather unsettling and almost made me lose my balance. I felt a curious urge to run for shelter, and my new, hey, I want to read the rest of that. Oh well, so it goes. Hello, chat. Okay, so this is a point-and-click adventure game. For those of you who do not know what point-and-click adventure games are, they're adventure games in which you point and click. It was in first person, and it looks like, kind of Myst style. However, unlike Myst, you kind of have a full view of everything. Cool thing about horror games in this particular vein is that they're all about atmosphere. There might be a couple jump scares or something like that, but for the most part, it's about knowing the location, knowing the haunted house, investigating the house, and all of the mysteries that it has. Right. So, what do we have here? Some kind of notebook. Is it blank? Ooh, not really liking the camera controls here. Very loose. It's like this is a small wrist movement that's letting me do that. You know, it's like, oof. Yeah. It's like that's the amount of motion that I would use to write my name, and that's how quickly the camera's moving. I wonder if there's an option to fix that. I doubt it. Yeah. I'm gonna play with hints off for now if that becomes a problem. I'll put low gamma filter on as well. Alternate control. Sure. Enabled. I guess. All right. Let's get back to it. Okay. Let's check this out. Imposing main gates regarding the entrance to the manor. Well, no shit. Even if I wanted to leave, I cannot do so on foot. Let me guess, the car broke down. Oh, interesting, a mailbox. The mailbox was empty. Oh, see, already able to interact with things. It's good. Ooh. And, where I currently am, there's a major thunderstorm going on, which is one of the reasons I decided to play a horror game today. And it's going like crazy outside. So if I get jumpy, it might be because of the lightning. It was the boot of my car, boot, which, considering my non-existent technical expertise, I hope I would never need to open. What? It's a freaking trunk of a car, dude. Just you open it and you do your thing. Well, there we are. Are those the car keys? Well, I picked something up. Why is it in my inventory? There we go. Right. There we go. Now I have them. Great. Alright, what are those? Let me examine it. Well, it looks like they're the car keys. No, the key didn't fit there. Huh. Do. Nice. Huh. There's the car's starter. Okay. So I guess the keys go there. I always like horror games that allow you to just get in the car and attempt to drive off. I'd only just arrived, and the idea of going driving again wasn't very tempting. Okay. Can I put the keys back? Maybe? Alright. Hopefully when I exit the car, I take the keys with me. Let's see. No, they stay in the ignition. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm presuming that becomes part of a puzzle later. Hopefully I don't need them for anything. Hopefully I didn't just screw myself by putting the keys there. Alright, so let's keep on going. So we know that the fountain was somehow important in the photographs that were taken. Still don't really know what our main character's motivations are for being here. I'm sure there was a thing. I don't know, maybe they just bought the house. Alright. It's like, oh yeah, we just I'm in the mood for spooky ass real estate. Let's go and check it out. Alright. Well then. Yeesh. A hefty lock was preventing my entry to the garage. Well, that's a magnifying glass. Can I open that? It doesn't look like... Okay, so the suitcases are just their own thing. This is probably the key to the front of the house. Yeah. So we can't enter the garage, whatever's in there. Good to know that it is there for when we eventually do get a chance to explore it. What's down this path? always like getting my bearings in a setting like this before I go wandering. Well, before I get to the part of it, at least. Interesting, the path branches there? No. Okay, let's see. Spooky path. Break. Other path. Ah, here we are. Let's keep looking around here. What is this? What is this? The tree had a little hole in its base which allowed some water to pass through. Interesting. There's a small pool of water below the arching tree. Okay. So tree with water around it. A gray and naked tree was naked, sorry. Was standing on a small knoll, crowning an otherwise bare area with its thin branches slowly swaying in the gentle wind. All of a sudden, I began to feel very alone. Interesting. Yeah, this feels like it could have been a centerpiece for something. A larger garden. Okay, so there's nothing else here. I'm guessing because the camera allowed me to zoom in there, there's gonna be something more to do with that hole later, but good to make a mental note of it. Alright. That seems to be everything that's in this little grove. Let's head back to what seemed to be some kind of gazebo? Garden? Yeah, this. A greenhouse. That's the word I'm looking for. It looks like an old greenhouse. I wonder if we can enter it. Oh, what's that on the ground? Sticks. Can't pick it up. Okay. It's stuck. Of course it is. Can't even break the window or anything. Alright. Okay, so now we know this is here at least. That's good. That's very good. Alright. Onwards we go. Still something about that fountain. It wouldn't have been in the pictures otherwise. Okay, well, let's keep looking. Huh, a grate. Interesting. Big ol' spooky house. Big ol' spooky door. Let us open the spooky door with the spooky key. Alright. Always good to make sure that any place you're going into was locked up beforehand. Here we are, the main foyer. Interesting. Clock's still in working order, that's good. Let's go check that out. Majestic grandfather clock was gently ticking nearby. Oh! There's a phone. That being the parlor. No. Would it be in the main room? Ah, yes, there we are. Perfect.
Hello.
So, there's
Michael, it's me.
Hey, Jerry. It's good to hear your voice.
I see that piece of junk you got there is working.
My thoughts exactly. I was afraid it'd fall apart as soon as I laid my fingers on it.
So how did you find everything? Do you like the place?
It's hard to tell yet. I'm very impressed, that's for sure.
You sound odd. Is everything okay?
Yes, it's perfectly fine. It's just that I'm in awe. I mean, pleasantly surprised. This house is like a dream come true.
So you do like it? You got me worried there for 1 second.
I'm telling you, I'm going to turn this place into a factory of horror stories.
Good. You ought to finish that book. I'm rooting for you, mate. You sure everything is in order?
Well, I just got here. Let me have a look around, and I'll get back to you if I find anything strange.
So that's the thing. This is an author. We are playing Michael, who is an author of horror stories who is seeking inspiration and bought this house on a whim. Well, I'm sure he's going to get more than he bargained for. Well, let's keep going around. Well, at least we know that he is also an intrepid adventurer like us, interested in stories. It's a rather torn umbrella. It's 9 a.m. Okay, good to know. Can we open that? I bet they'll become open to us later. A tiny vase almost hidden in the corner completed the modest furnishings in the lobby. Okay. I wonder if time actually passes in this game at a standard pace or if it's event-based. I always wanted to be a penis, but eventually found another use for my fingers. It's all gibberish to me. Very well furnished. A wine cellar. Interesting. I don't know what painting that is, but it's kind of a macabre thing to hang in your parlor. Fancy red clock, which sadly wasn't functioning. The place is full of exquisite, albeit aged, candelabras. Generic standing lamp. Still, it wasn't elegant and tasteful. Anything else on this side of the room that we can investigate? Doesn't appear so. Alright. Ah, there we are. Wonder how long that cup of coffee had been sitting there. Ew, yeah, is it still full of coffee? That's really gross. Cup of coffee in the big house. Sorry. Ah, it's the red... Bring me the red pages! April 20th. During a fit of rage... During a fit of rage, I burnt any previous diary. Not that I regret it, as if my disjointed notes were worth anything. Their only purpose was to keep me sane. I feel that this is my only escape route, my only means of finding the handwriting is so strange. The only means of finding some inner peace. Whenever I put my pen to this page, I feel that I can reflect upon my situation. I just wish I had more options, that's all. But I'm rambling. I must think clearly. Focus. Focus. May 12th. I've become an eternal guardian. Stuck between few choices, none of which are good. Do I fulfill the promise and violate everything that I believe in? The very principles of my life? Or am I condemned to spend the rest of my existence in this deadened state, a ghost with no other purpose than just being here watching? I truly have no escape. I can't find an appropriate solution to this problem, and I must pay the price. I'm a shadow of the man I used to be. Only these notes remain, my testament in these moments of mediation, my sole companion. June 26th. Today I spent the entire afternoon staring at the window, my mind a blank. Oddly enough, I really didn't care. It seems now as though it was something natural for me, a part of my personality. But I know the reason very well. I've lost my soul. I am an empty shell, devoid of any feelings. I renounced them on that fateful day, and the worst thing is, I knew there were going to be consequences. No, that's not true. Consequences were far worse than I expected. How could I be so blind? January 25th? January something or other. Yeah, I think that's 25th. I often wonder what would have happened if we had simply reversed it all. What would have happened if right now I come out and told the world what really happened? No, I'd end up rotting in jail. Although, that might be a better destiny compared to this eternal suffering. November 17th. I can't say for sure when it began. I just heard them, one morning, coming from the next room. The whispers. Are they real? Have I been alone for far too long? They won't stop. I can't stand it any longer. February 9th. Ever since I locked it away that evening, it seems to have calmed down a bit. Perhaps James was right after all. It's madness, I know. But at this point, I'll be inclined to believe anything. May. Over the years, I was convinced that everything James suffered was a misfortune, a whim of destiny. For the first time ever, I'm not so sure anymore. I never thought it could happen, but I believe I understand now. If this is so, then cursed be my soul. I thought you said you didn't have one. Oh well. Poor James. If I had acted in another way, then maybe things would have worked out differently. But it's too late now. I have to suffer my cavalry. My cavalry? Alright, sure. September 13th. The noises are back, although this time they're different. Before, I'd only hear them inside my head, as if someone or something was whispering and, how to put this, interrupting my thoughts. But now, I can really feel them, spreading around the house. What are they? September 14th. I've realized. The noises are coming from down there. I don't want to think about it anymore. December. They are unbearable. They get worse at night. Oh, how I wish it would stop. What is going on down there? I don't dare go nearer. I don't want to know. May. God, how many years have passed. I've lost all sense of time. I have to get out of this place. The diary disturbed me in a way I couldn't explain, yet I felt curious about what had been tormenting the poor fellow. Oh, hello. So, what you missed, essentially, the diary is more or less the thing of it, right? There's something somewhere. This is a haunted house that our protagonist, Michael, seems to have bought. From, I forget what his friend's name was on the phone. Jerry. There we are. We can't remember his number. Great. So, Michael seems to have bought this house from Jerry as a writer in order to gain inspiration. Still 9 o'clock. Okay, good. As inspiration for his novel, his horror novel, because he's a horror author. Yes, it is very much like Myst, or anything else, any kind of Myst game, but mostly Myst 3 and 4, because Riven and such had the clicking on the sides, whereas this game has full 360 view. It's possible that's only from the director's cut. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to see what those different alternate controls would be, because I'm curious. I'm curious if this game was initially made in that way. I see. Okay. So, you know what? I think I might prefer this. Actually, I don't know. So now it's if I move the mouse cursor towards the edges, that's when the camera moves. And you know what? I think I prefer the alternate controls because it gives me more of a sense of actually being there because I can actually look around. It's a little more janky, but I mean, I can clearly, it's like, oh, I want to look at the door. Okay, bam, there's the door, right? I want to look at the fountain. Bam, there's the fountain. The greenhouse. Bam, over there, right? So I like that. So, yeah. I love Myst 4 Revelations as well. That's my favorite Myst game. Miss 3 was the one that started with those control schemes. So let's keep looking around. So this is where we started, right? We have the car. We know the keys are in the car, so we can presumably leave at any time, but I'm sure it's not going to happen. The garage is there. It's locked. And then further down here is a greenhouse, which is locked, and a tree and some kind of grove that is flooded. That doesn't seem to serve any purpose as of yet. Okay, so back into the house we go. So that's really all you missed. Alright. So, let's keep going. I want to keep looking around this room in particular. So we read the diary. A man seems to have gone mad in this house at some point. Something about James, who had also been here, who I guess he may have condemned to a madhouse or something, because he thought he was crazy, and then just had to look over this estate and then realize, no, he wasn't crazy. An impressive fireplace, and surprisingly clean too, although it hadn't been used in a long time. I'm sure that's not going to have to do with any sort of puzzle later on. Yeah, we're just going to put a piece of the Sistine Chapel right here. That's so tacky. More exquisite, albeit aged, candelabras. Alright. I'm always interested in games that put paintings up, because they're almost always symbolic, and I like looking up what their titles are. Alright, let's see if we can open this door. We probably can't. Oh, hey. Let me open it. Oh, we can! What a surprise! Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. We have a study. Oh, these are the first clues are. No smoking can kill you, especially when the cigars are decades old. Wow, this place is just left perfectly intact. That is amazing. The little drawer wouldn't open. Alright, well, let's look over here. This place is full more aged candelabras. Remnants of a previous fire. The stone in the fireplace is cold to the touch. What? The glass was empty. Pity, I could have used a drink. Oh, so you're not gonna freaking smoke ancient cigars, but you're fine to drink like someone else's like wine with possible bubonic plague on it? Gross. Gross, Michael. Just a bunch of uninteresting books. Alright. So, a desk. Perfect. Fantastic. Let's... that one's locked. Back to it later. Ah, another journal. To have different writing in it. We don't actually know who wrote the other journal. The only name that was mentioned in that was James, but that was the person that whoever wrote the journal did something to. Again. So, oh yeah, QuickTime animation. Yeah, how old is this game? This game is I think it's actually from 2005, was the original version. So there's actually a lot of kind of modern graphics to it, which is why it looks as cool as it does. But the I think it was clearly using some. It's still pretty indie, so. But I don't know how old the director's cut is. Something like that. Alright, anyways. February 6th. The construction of the railway bridge is almost complete and went quite smoothly. It took longer than I expected, yet I wish it would have lasted longer. I'll be very sad to leave South Africa. I began so attached to it, its culture, its arts, over the past few months, that I can't help feeling as if it was already a part of me. I will surely return someday, soon, hopefully, although I'm afraid that it is a great deal of work to be taken care of back in old Britain. Fortunately, I made good friends here who were, ecstatic about my new appreciation for their country. They have offered me some wonderful objects as a token of gratitude, which I have already, created and got ready to ship, along with many trinkets I bought myself. It looks like I'm about to start a very substantial collection. It's a good thing Catherine. Oh my God, I missed. It's a good thing Catherine agreed to move into our new home, although I fear several renovations will have to be made, even more if I'm intending to start a serious new hobby. It seems I have to get back to work. John Peterson has just told me some natives are causing trouble, a very unfortunate thing, although I'm secretly rejoicing. February 12th. The natives won't leave. It's not like they're causing trouble so much as they're unsettling our workers. The only complaint so far has been distraction. They just stand still between the trees staring at us without blinking an eye. I've watched them for a few minutes, and they truly seem like some, tenacious? No, something, whatever, statues. At first it was just annoying, but lately it has become downright creepy. They seem to be stalking us, so it's not like they're hindering the construction, but there is a general uneasy feeling, as if they were about to jump at us at any moment. I think we'll hire some protection as a measure of precaution. That's not going to end well. February 15th. Fascinating. I've been looking into these natives. They live in a nearby village and are a very small group, yet they seem to manage quite well. I had thought of them as a quiet and uncivilized tribe, but their movements are calculated and can perceive a sense of careful organization in their tasks. Oddly enough, they seem to be very brutish, and their aspects look awful, although I couldn't take a good look at their facial features as I followed one of them completely on my own, and it could have been dangerous getting any closer. Although the village is poor and very rough, but some of the shacks leap out as inviting or special. It made me very curious. I will try to come closer tomorrow. February 16th. My second expedition to the village of the natives has been foiled by an unexpected problem at the bridge. I'm afraid it was due to a slight miscalculation on my part, an indication that I should be focusing more on the task at hand, and put my sudden love for all African things aside for a moment. It was my fault, and I accept it. February 20th. They are at it again, looking beyond the forest. It's amazing how they have changed our perception of the surroundings. At first we were delighted by the quiet nature of the place. Now we fear what horrors might conceal in the dark and foreboding cloak of trees. The tops loom above us, overshadowing the bridge, and strange noises haunt our meals, even the river telling ungodly secrets. We could be, of course, a bit more sensitive toward distractions, but I can't help feeling the area has in fact become more sinister. And yet I'm still looking forward to satisfying my curiosity about the tribe. February 24th. At last I found something more about the neighboring tribe. This is an incredible find, and I just can't withhold my excitement. Some elders of the local town happen to know about them, but only through stories they heard. The most surprising thing is that the tribe was assumed to be extinct long ago, but according to my vague descriptions, the elders think that we could be dealing with a legend here. Everything they ever learned of them was during their childhood, when the tribe was stalking the town, much in the same way they have been stalking us. People used to call them Delam. Yeah, okay. Delam. As such was the sound of screams heard echoing in the night. Oh, yikes. They come out into the streets and see an evil glitter atop a hill at the distance. Some would say it was a fire, others a cursed spirit of an ancient god. Whatever it was, they say the bright light and those fantastic screams were bone-chilling. The macabre scene would suddenly stop just as it had begun from nowhere, never to be seen again in days to come. Intervals between those horrible nights became longer and longer, until they soon faded into oblivion. The tribe apparently had retreated back into obscurity, until now. They were later known as the Dalamar, a rather more scientific name, although none of the people I spoke with could possibly remember its origin. I find it extremely surprising that nobody has ever heard about this tribe with the exception of a few townspeople. They must be incredibly rare, and judging by the stories passed on from generations in this town, very old. February 27th. I will confess that I have become nearly obsessed with these strange tribe. I see them as the most prized goal of my appreciation towards all South African things, a dangerous yet irresistible reward. I feel as if they were my discovery. I simply have to study them before leaving. I feel I won't have the chance to ever again. It has become an important goal of mine, even more important than finishing the bridge. March 4th. Finally, I've managed to see them. My God, what a disturbing spectacle! When we arrived, they were moving around the village very slowly, without speaking or communicating with each other, each minding his or her own business, completely alien to the rest of the world. They were filthy looking, coarse and downright disgusting. I couldn't see any weapons, but they could have been stored somewhere. It was all very strange behavior in the tribe. They must be quite unique. Then, as if they had suddenly all become possessed by some wild spirit, they began shaking sporadically and screaming like mad. Some of them dropped to their knees and lifted their heads to the sky, eyes blank and moaning in an indescribable way. Two of them walked away, still in that monotonous and slow manner, and in great contrast to the rest of the scene, into a shack. The next minute they brought out into the open an odd-looking mask. Its shapes, colors, and overall looks, while unsettling, were mesmerizing, and I felt instantly hypnotized by it. It rendered my modest collection of African curiosities into dull and uninteresting items. The mask was very ominous, and the whole tribe seemed to greatly revere it. Soon they began to gather around it, and move in circles, fluttering and chattering in a guttural psalm. Judging by the motions and aspect of the whole ritual, it must have been some kind of war ritual. Yeah, the page turn sounding is very familiar, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, if it's not the mist sound by itself, it's at least very reminiscent of it. But that's fine, I like that. I'm not sure how to explain what happened next, as I feel my pulse is already throbbing. Words fail me to recount the most disturbing thing I've ever witnessed. One of the male villagers walked into the middle, near the mask, by his own will. It was almost an automatic act. All of a sudden, the remaining members became silent. I can't tell for how long it lasted, but I was afraid to breathe. I think Dalby and the others were also scared. They wouldn't even blink. I remember being soaked wet and expectant. The silence was so unnatural. Then a few members separated from the people circling the mask and jumped on the single villager, beating him to death. To be completely faithful to the event, the small crowd tore him apart. They grabbed his legs in 2 and 3s and twisted them in a manner I dare not describe. His face was disfigured with their bare fingernails and teeth, and his torso soon disappeared under the frenzied tangle of hands. In a matter of a few minutes, the villager was turned into a red sack of bones. Not one of the attackers had the compassion to snap his neck during the sickening process. All was very methodical, as if it was just another mundane task. The most terrifying aspect, though, was that the victim didn't even cringe. The silence was so deep I could hear his flesh ripping. I wouldn't expect any living creature to scream its guts out in such a condition. I can't tell whether he was drugged or half asleep, but I did recognize him dancing like everyone else before walking into the middle of the circle. It was the most outrageous and sadistic sacrifice I've ever heard of. I don't think I will ever forget what I saw. My intentions of approaching further, even if they didn't have any weapons at hand, vanished. Those creatures, I dare not call them human beings, could have killed my whole company in the blink of an eye with their rage. They seemed to be completely out of themselves and willing to destroy anything intruding into their path. While the image of the sacrifice still haunts my thought, I still can't seem to forget that mask. It was so deceptively simple and yet perfect in its design. I haven't seen anything like it. I sure would love to take a better look. I feel the Dalmar, dangerous as they are, could be the most important ethical finding in decades. It seems that page is torn, so I'm gonna have to. So Dangerous they are could be the most important ethical finding in decades. What I've seen today is crying out for some further investigating. I just can't leave them alone like that. I would never forgive myself. And the mask. That mask. I was ecstatic after reading the journal. The material was incredible. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. Oh, I got shivers from that. Ah. So cool. Alright. So, man, this is giving me like Lovecraftian vibes out the wazoo, right? Like, the unknown horrors, the people, the unknown people, the strange ritualistic things and madness, and just right off the bat we have all my favorite stuff. I'm loving it. I'm loving this. Can't wait to see where it goes. Did he take the mask? Did he take the mask? Did he approach the mask and then was ripped to shreds, perhaps? Oh, who knows? Who knows? 2 years in East Africa, a journey to the source of the Nile with numerous illustrations. Bit of money, ink bottle. More money, possibly yen. So this man traveled quite a bit. Cigars, of course. I don't know what that is I just picked up. I'll look at it in my inventory. And, hey, let me open that door, please. Thank you. Another book. That doesn't seem to be important. Okay, so let's see what we just picked up. I wish that there was a look icon or something. This seems to be some kind of pin. Possibly to pick a lock. Okay. An envelope. I wish I could open that. Come on, game. Hey, can I just use the envelope and look at it? Maybe put it down somewhere to read? I wonder... Did I press the space bar? Okay. As I press the space bar, it lets me move the hand around like that. That's kind of strange. Alright, I wish there were better control instructions. Like, there we go. See, I can... Okay, so I can click on that and open this, so... But I can't seem to examine anything else. This house is amazing, far beyond my wildest dreams. Jerry's efforts have truly exceeded my expectations. I'm very get acquainted right away. Jerry says the electrician should be on his way to solve the lights problem. I feel relieved. I'm speechless. I've just read an incredible story about a mysterious African tribe. The personal memories of James... the personal memories of this James Blackwood person. Well then... That's James. Even if it isn't true, it's simply terrific material. Judging by the stuff I've been seeing around, this Blackwood was really into African culture. So this is James Blackwood's manor. I see. Well then. I wonder if I can use this pin on that to open it up. Let's find out. That wasn't useful. Alright. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep walking around. Let's keep checking this out. Ooh. Oh, I can't play with it. Oh, maybe I can. Whoop. Yeah. Look at that. 3D graphics. I love little toys like this. It's just the physics don't look realistic at all. But you know, so it goes. I wonder if there's any items I have to use on it. Probably not, but you never know, yeah. Okay, well, I'll figure shit out later. Let's keep going. Nothing looking at the chair. Okay, I think we're done with the desk for now. Okay. How about this corner over here? Whee! Well, that was fun. This game doesn't feel like it's 2005. It looks like it might be older. I don't know. I could be wrong. Huge collection of books was impressive. I would have gladly spent days going through them. Most of the clocks in this house weren't working. Diploma granting the title of construction engineer to James T. Blackwood. As an engineer? Huh. Huge mansion for someone who is just an engineer. Well, like a construction engineer, you know, I'd figure he'd be like a professor. Interesting. Wonder who he got the house from. Unless he built it. Possibly he built the house. Well, we'll find out. That lamp's not even plugged in. Alright, interesting. You'd figure that there would be like a secret latch or something, but I guess this bookshelf looks like there's probably more to it than meets the eye, but if there is, I can't figure it out just yet. I intend to brighten up the whole place, but to my surprise, the lights wouldn't work. Yeah, so the light switches here are still kind of busted. Okay, that seems to be that. Let's see, does this door open? Ooh, it does. Dining room, hooray! Wow, intense. What is the meaning? What does it mean? What does it mean? Ooh, painting. Painting that I cannot look at. Ah, now I can look at it. Ah! Cool. Stop poking at Jesus, alright? It might be infected. He can't have these actual paintings in his house. That's insane. They're just posters. Yep. Still no power in the house. Or at least limited. I don't know. I guess that happens when you don't water the plants for, you know, several years. Alright, well. Ooh. A couple of beautiful vases made of shining glass were